Hey Knights, so the last video was kind of cut short um, due to my laptop that I'm recording all my videos here on decided to be a turd and restart. So yeah, um, so basically I'm going to read the rest of chapter 15 and then read chapter 16. So basically what just happened was that Jesse is now on Jack Harness's spaceship after dangling from a barrage balloon during World War II, and the Doctor has encountered a child looking for its mother with a gas mask. And this lady is telling the Doctor to don't touch him, don't answer the phone, and all that stuff. So, yes, ended off with she burst out laughing when yes, you're not even in the frame if that's what you're trying to do. Or did you just want to make the noise? It's wood, it's not gonna work. Are you done?
Almost. I'm done.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Captain Jack Harness, he replied, handing her an ID card. 133 Squadron, Royal Air Force, American volunteer. She burst out laughing when she saw his ID. Liar, she accused, handing it back. I know it's psychic paper. It tells me whatever you want it to tell me. How do you know? Jack asked in surprise. 2 reasons, Jessie replied, holding up 2 fingers. 1, I have a friend who uses this all the time, and 2, she raised an eyebrow, snickering as she looked down at it. You're telling me that you're single and you work out. She handed it back. Nice attempt, but I don't date. Haven't for years. And why does it say you consider yourself footloose and fancy-free? Jack asked, looking at it. Jessie sighed. I was a freelancer before I started working as a Fed. Jack raised an eyebrow. The Feds, really? This is going to be a tongue twister. Jessie snickered. How about we try and get along without the psychic paper? That work for you? Jack nodded. That would be better, wouldn't it? Jessie nodded, slowly stood, twisting so she got the kinks out of her back. Nice spaceship, she commented. It gets me around. Very Spock, she added. Who? Jessie raised an eyebrow. Guessing you're not a local boy, then. Jack shrugged. A cell phone, a liquid crystal watch, and fabrics that won't be around for at least another 2 decades. Guessing you're not a local girl. Good guess, Jessie confirmed, then gasped a little when she put her hand down on the console. Jack looked over in concern. Burned your hands on the rope? Jessie looked up as the bomb went past. Yeah, she replied hazily, then blinked. We're parked in midair. Yep, Jack confirmed, popping the key. Jessie shook her head. Definitely not local if they can't see us. Can I have a look at your hands for a moment? Jessie narrowed her eyes. Why? Please, he asked, and Jessie sighed. You can stop acting now. I know exactly who you are. Oh, please, do tell. I can spot a time agent a mile away. Jessie blinked. Time agent? I've been expecting one of you guys to show up, he told her, taking his scarf from around his neck. Though not, I must say, by barrage balloon. Do you often travel that way? Jessie snorted. Nah, sometimes I just get swept off my feet by barrage balloons. She narrowed her eyes as he wrapped his scarf around her wrists, and she had a sudden memory of others tying her hands so she couldn't move. What are you doing? She asked, her voice a pitch higher. He looked at her concerned. Try to keep still. Jessie did, and he pressed a button. She gasped in delight when glowing gold things wrapped around her burned palms. Nanogens, he explained. Subatomic robots. The air in here is full of them. They just repaired 3 layers of your skin. Well, how about that? She asked as the glow disappeared and Jack untied her wrists. Tell them thanks. Shall we get down to business? Jessie blinked. Sorry. Business? Shall we have a drink on the balcony? He popped a hatch open and then nodded to a tray nearby. Bring up the glasses. Jessie stared at him incredulously, then shook her head. God, Doctor, where are you? She, nevertheless, took the glasses and followed him up. Her jaw dropped when she found herself standing on what appeared to be nothing. Invisible spaceship, she commented, and Jack nodded. Just like the helicarrier. Jack used a remote control, and the ship materialized underneath them. Yeah. Jessie looked behind them, then smirked. Tethered up to Big Ben for a reason only Odin knows why. First rule of active camouflage, Jack supplied, popping open a bottle of champagne, and she eyed it warily. Parked somewhere you'll remember. You are not giving me a full glass of that. Just saying. The doctor found Nancy again, storing food from the kitchen in a sack. He stood there, smiling, and she started when she saw him there. How'd you follow me here? She asked. I'm good at following me, he replied. Got the nose for it. Yeah? Nancy asked with a snort. That's why it's... She cut off, and the doctor raised an eyebrow, mildly offensive. Offended. What? Nothing. What? Nothing, she gave him a little smile. Do you just have special powers, too? What are you trying to say? She shook her head. Good night, mister. The doctor stopped her as she tried to leave. Nancy, there's something chasing you and the other kids. Looks like a boy, and it isn't a boy, and it started around a month ago, right? She stopped, and he knew he hit it right on. The thing I'm looking for, the thing that fell from the sky, that's where it's landed. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? She slowly nodded. There was a bomb that wasn't a bomb, fell the other end of Limehouse Green Station. He nodded back. Take me there. You sure you want to know what's going on in there? I really want to know. Then there's someone you need to talk to first. He raised an eyebrow. And who might that be? The doctor. What? Jessie looked out over London. It's getting late, she told Jack. I should be getting back. We're discussing business. She smacked him on the back of the head. Yes, champagne is definitely business. I try to never discuss business with a clever head. With a clear head, he bluffed. Are you traveling alone? Are you authorized to negotiate with me? What would we be negotiating? I have something for the Time Agency, Jack replied. Something I'd like to buy. Are you empowered to make payment? Jessie snorted. Nah, that'll be my companion. Companion? She smirked at the look on his face. Yep, and I really should be getting back to him. Him? Jessie nodded. Do you have the time? Jack checked something on his remote, and Jessie raised an eyebrow when the face of Big Ben lit up. 21:30, she commented, then grinned. Okay, that was flash. So, when you say your companion, Jack asked, standing, just how disappointed should I be? Jessie looked around. We're on a spaceship during a German air raid, and you really think that it's a good idea to try and come on to me? Do you like Glenn Miller's? She yelped when Jack took her in his arms, and Moonlight Serendine began playing. She glared at him in annoyance, but went with the flow. It's 1941, he told her. The height of the London Blitz. The height of the German bombing campaign. And something else had fallen on London. Jessie's head snapped up. The Blitz? Didn't Bo say something about seeing him at the Blitz? A fully equipped Tula warship, he continued, as her eyes widened in surprise. The last one in existence, armed to the teeth, and I know where it is, because I parked it. He looked back at her. If the agency can name the right price, I can get it for you. But in 2 hours, a German bomb is going to fall on it and destroy it forever. Now you're just talking. 2 hours the bomb falls, he told her. There'll be nothing left but dust and a crater. Jessie rolled her eyes. You used to be a time agent, and now you're some kind of freelancer, and you're talking about promises? Well, that's a little harsh, he told her. I like to think of myself as a criminal. Jessie sighed. Yeah, I bet you do. So, this companion of yours. Jessie groaned in mock annoyance, throwing her head back. Does he handle the business? I delegate a lot of that, she muttered. Well, maybe we should go find him. And now how are you going to do that? Easy. I'll do a scan for alien tech. Jessie's jaw dropped, and she stared at him in astonishment. Finally! Someone does that! The doctor used a pair of super binoculars to look around the area, listening to Nancy talk. The bomb's under that tarpaulin, she told him, pointing. They put the fence up overnight. She pointed to another place. And see that building, the hospital? What about it? That's where the doctor is. You should talk to him. For now, I'm more interested in getting in there, the doctor replied, pointing to the tarpaulin. Talk to the doctor first, Nancy advised. Why? Because then maybe you won't want to get inside. He looked up as Nancy began to walk away. Where are you going? There is a lot of food in that house, she explained. I've got mouths to feed. Should be safe now. Can I ask you a question? He asked. Who did you lose? She stopped short. What? The way you look after all those kids. It's because you lost somebody, isn't it? You're doing all this to make up for it. She nodded a little. My little brother Jamie. One night I went out looking for food. Same night that thing fell. I told him not to follow me. I told him it was dangerous, and he just didn't like being on his own. He guessed what had happened, but asked anyway. What happened? She glared at him. In the middle of an air raid? What do you think happened? She shook his head. Amazing, he murmured. What is? 1941, he began launching into details. Right now, not very far from here, the German war machine is rolling up the map of Europe, country after country falling like dominoes. Nothing can stop it, nothing, until one tiny, damp little island says no, not here. A mouse in front of a lion. He shook his head. You're amazing, the lot of you. Don't know what you'd do to Hitler, but you frighten the hell out of me. Off you go, then. Do what you've got to do. Save the world. He watched Nancy go off, then approached the hospital. He signed the padlock, then went in through the doors. He found one of the wards, and he blinked in surprise. Every bed was full, and the patients were all still. They were all wearing gas masks. You'll find them everywhere, an old voice told him, and the doctor turned as an elderly man in a doctor's coat walked in, using a walking stick. In every bed, in every ward. Hundreds of them. Yes, I saw. Why are they still wearing gas masks? The doctor asked. They're not. Who are you? I'm he paused. Are you the doctor? Dr. Constantine. And you are? Nancy sent me, the doctor replied, evading the question. Constantine nodded. Nancy, that means you've been asking about the bomb. Yes. What do you want to know about it? Nothing, he replied. Why I was asking? What do you know? Only what it's done. The doctor looked around in surprise. These people, they were all caught up in the blast? None of them were. He looked back at Constantine and as Constantine began coughing hard, and he sat in a chair by the desk where the ward sister would usually be. You're very sick, he told him. Constantine nodded. Dying, I should think. I just haven't been able to find the time. Are you a doctor? The doctor, he thought, but didn't comment on that. I have my moments. Have you examined any of them yet? No. Don't touch the flesh. The doctor looked around. Which one? Anyone. The doctor chose the nearest patient and pointed his sonic screwdriver at it. Conclusions? Constantine asked. Massive head trauma, mostly to the left side, the doctor replied. Partial collapse of the chest cavity, most likely to the right. There's some scarring on the back of the hand, and the gas mask seems to be fused to the flesh. But I can't see any burns. Constantine nodded. Examine another one. The doctor did just that. His eyes widened in astonishment. This isn't possible. Examine another. The doctor shook his head in amazement. This isn't possible, he repeated. No, Constantine agreed. They've all got the same injuries. Yes. Exactly the same. Yes. Identical, all of them, right down to the scar on the back of the hand. He turned to Constantine. How did this happen? How did it start? When that bomb dropped, Constantine began. There was just one victim. Dead? At first. His injuries were truly dreadful. By the following morning, every doctor and nurse who had treated him, who had touched him, had those exact same injuries. By the morning after that, every patient in the ward, the exact same injuries. Within a week, the entire hospital. Physical injuries as plague. Can you explain that? What would you say was the cause of death? The head trauma, the doctor guessed. No, Constantine denied. A fixation. No. The collapse of the chest cavity? No. The doctor looked at him surprised. All right. What was the cause of death? There wasn't one. They're not dead. Constantine hit a basket, and the doctor jumped in surprise as all of the patients sat up straight. It's all right, Constantine assured him. They're harmless. They just sort of sit there. No heartbeat, no life signs of any kind. They just don't die. And they've just been left here? The doctor asked as they all lay down again. Nobody's doing anything? I try and make them comfortable, Constantine replied. What else is there? Just you? You're the only one here? Constantine nodded. Before this war began, I was a father and a grandfather. And now I am neither. But I'm still a doctor. The doctor nodded, swallowing as he remembered Susan, his architarior, architire. Yeah, I know the feeling. I suspect the plan is to blow up the hospital and blame it on a German bomb. Probably too late. No, there are isolated cases. Isolated cases breaking out all over London. Constantine suddenly bent over, doubling, coughing. The doctor stepped forward to help. Stay back! Stay back! The doctor then saw the scar on the back of Constantine's hand, and he stopped short. Listen to me. Top floor, room 802. That's where they took the first victim, the one from the crash site. And you must find Nancy again. Nancy? He repeated. It was her brother, Constantine wheezed. She knows more than she's saying. She won't tell me, but she might. The doctor looked at him. Mummy? The doctor's eyes widened, and he slowly began backing away towards the door. Are you my mummy? The doctor watched as a gas mask encased Constantine's face from the mouth. Hello? An unfamiliar male voice called out from the ward. Hello? The doctor turned in surprise. Jessie? He shouted. Hello? The first voice called out. Jessie looked around, trying to figure out where the doctor went, when the sound of running drew her attention towards one of the wards. The doctor came running out, approaching them quickly. Good evening, Jack said brightly, holding out a hand. Hope we're not interrupting. Jack Harkness, I've been hearing all about you on the way over. Jessie rolled her eyes, and apparently he knows about us being time agents. And it's a real pleasure to meet you, Mr. Spock. The doctor raised an eyebrow at Jessie as Jack went back into the ward. Mr. Spock? Well, I wasn't just going to call you the doctor, was I? She snorted. Don't you get tired of that? The doctor? Doctor who? 9 centuries in, and I'm coping, he replied. Where have you been? We're in the middle of a London blitz. It's not a good time for a stroll. Jessie was still trying to wrap her head around the fact that Jack was possibly a face she saw 5 billion years later. But she managed a good answer. Who's strolling? I went by Barrage Building, she smirked. Only way to see the air raid. What? She laughed at the startled look on his face, then headed towards the ward again. So what exactly is a Chula warship? Chula? He echoed. This just isn't possible, Jack was saying as they went in. How did this happen? What kind of Chula ship landed here? The doctor asked. What? Jack repeated. He said it was a warship, Jessie supplied. He stole it, parked it somewhere out there, and supposedly there's going to be a bomb falling on it, unless we make him an offer. What kind of warship? The doctor repeated. Does it matter? Jack asked. It's got nothing to do with this. This started at a bomb site, the doctor replied, and Jessie blinked as she took in all of the gas mask patients in surprise. It's got everything to do with it. What kind of warship? An ambulance! Look! Jessie peered at the hologram beam from a device on his wrist. That's what you chased through the time vortex. It's empty. I made sure of it. Nothing but shell. I threw it at you. Saw your time travel vehicle. Love the retro look, by the way, he added. Nice panels. She snickered as he continued. Threw you the bait. Bait? Jessie yelped in surprise. I wanted to sell it to you and then destroy it before you found out it was junk. Jessie grew lowly. You said it was a warship. They have ambulances in war, he replied absently. It was a con. I was conning you. That's what I am. I'm a con man. I thought you were time agents. You're not, are you? Well, I'm an agent traveling in time, Jessie offered, and the doctor snorted. Oh, should have known, Jack snorted. The way you guys are blending in with the local color. Flag Girl was bad enough. Oi! But U-boat captain? Jack shook his head. Anyways, whatever's happening here has got nothing to do with that ship. What's happening here? Jessie asked, turning to the doctor. Human DNA is being rewritten by an idiot, the doctor replied, glaring at Jack. What do you mean? She asked. I don't know, some kind of virus converting human beings into these things. But why? What's the point? The patients all suddenly sat up straight. Mummy? They all began asking. Jessie got into a defensive position and she looked around. Doctor? She asked, grabbing Jack's arm. What's happening? I don't know. There were various calls of Mummy as the patients all stood and began backing the 3 into the corner. Don't let them touch you, the doctor demanded. What happens if they touch us? Jessie asked nervously. You're looking at it. Chapter 16. The Doctor Dances. Jessie grasped Jack's wrist with one hand, then reached out to get the doctor's arm. He spared her a look, then looked at the patients. Go to your room. Jessie blinked as they all stopped, seeming to consider him. That appeared to encourage the doctor. Go to your room. I mean it. I am very, very angry with you. I am very, very cross. Go to your room. Jessie looked around in shock as the patients appeared to hang their heads in shame and return to their beds. She looked at the doctor in surprise, and he let out a breath. I'm really glad that worked, he admitted. Those would have been terrible last words. Why are they all wearing gas masks? Jessie asked. They're not, Jack replied. Those masks are flesh and bone. How is your con supposed to work? The doctor asked. Simple enough, really, Jack replied with a shrug. Find some harmless piece of space junk, let the nearest time agent track it back to Earth, convince him it's valuable, name a price. When he's put 50% up, oops, Jessie rolled her eyes. A German bomb falls on it, destroys it forever. He never gets to see what he's paid for, never knows he's been had. I buy him a drink with his own money, and we discuss dumb luck. The perfect self-cleaning con. Try to get me on champagne, too, Jessie added mildly. The doctor threw Jack a newly furious glaze. He did what? I'm not drunk or anything, if that's what you're asking, she assured him quickly. It was just a little. It had better have been, the doctor muttered. Perfect con indeed. The London Blitz is great for self-cleaners, Jack told them. Pompeii's nice if you want to make a vacation of it, though. But you've got to set your alarm for Volcano Day. Jessie folded her arms and fixed Jack with what Fandral and Volstagg had deemed her death-bringer glare. He shuffled a little. I'm getting a hint of disapproval. No, duh, she snorted. Take a look around the room, the doctor ordered. This is what your harmless piece of space junk did. It was a burnt-out medical transporter, Jack protested. It was empty. Jessie? She walked over. Are we getting out of here? We're going upstairs. I even programmed the flight computer so it wouldn't land on anything living. Jack continued to protest, and Jessie mouthed Adam to the doctor, who gave her a small grin. I harmed no one. I don't even know what's happening here, but believe me, I had nothing to do with it. I'll tell you what's happening. The doctor reached the door. You forgot to set your alarm clock. Volcano Day? Jessie gasped. It's Volcano Day, the doctor agreed. A siren wailed ahead, and Jessie looked up. What's that? The all clear, Jack replied. I wish, the doctor muttered, leaving. Mr. Spock, Jack called, and they ran after him. Doctor, Jessie called out as well. Have you got a blaster? His voice called out, and Jessie looked up the staircase to see the doctor on the next level. Sure, Jack replied as they ran up. The doctor looked at a metal door. The night your space junk landed, someone was hurt, he said. This is where they were taken. What happened? Jessie asked, checking that her gun was still in the waistband of her jeans under her shirt. Let's find out, the doctor replied, gesturing to Jack. He took out a fancy-looking futuristic gun, and Jessie looked at the doctor in surprise. What happened to your sonic screwdriver? She asked. Nothing, he replied. Jack fired and the lock disintegrated. The doctor looked impressed. Sonic blaster, 51st century, the weapon factories of Velengard? Jack nodded. You've been to the factories? Once, he replied. Well, they're gone now, destroyed. The main reactor went critical, vaporized a lot. Like I said, once. Jessie grinned at him, and he grinned back. There's a banana grove there now. I like bananas. Bananas are good. She snickered as he went inside the room, then looked at Jack's blaster. Nice pattern. Digital, he replied. Squareness gun. Yeah. She smirked. Shield needs those for sure. Hey, before I go on, little personal tidbit with that part right there about the banana. Hate bananas. Well, I used to like them, and then I hate them. And then I saw the episode. I'm like, oh, you know what? I want a banana now. So then I started eating bananas again. And then I saw this really messed up video of a spider literally crawling out from the inside of a banana. And now I can't eat a banana again. Especially since I have arachnophobia. Okay, back to the story. The doctor looked behind him as Jack and Jessie joined them, sending Jack a warning look. What do you think? He asked, gesturing to the messy room. Something got out of here, Jessie replied, pointing to the broken window. And, the doctor encouraged, something powerful? Jack suggested, angry. Powerful and angry, the doctor agreed. He stepped into the next room, looking at the drawings of a child scattered on the ground. A child? Jack asked. I suppose this explains Mummy. How could a child do this? Jessie whispered in shock. The doctor wanted nothing more than to comfort her about that, but he turned on a tape machine instead. Do you know where you are? Constantine's voice asked. Are you my mummy? The child asked. Are you aware what's around you? Can you see? Are you my mummy? What do you want? Do you know? I want my mummy. Are you my mummy? I want my mummy. Are you my mummy? Are you my mummy? Mummy! Mummy! I heard this voice before, Jessie whispered. Me too, the doctor agreed. Mummy? Always. Are you my mummy? Jessie continued, looking around at the drawings. Like he doesn't know. Mummy? Why doesn't he know? Are you there, Mummy? Mummy! Mummy, please? Mummy! Mummy! The doctor looked around oddly, and Jessie turned to him. Doctor? Can you sense it? He asked. Sense what? Jack asked. Coming out of the walls. Can you feel it? Mummy! Funny little human brains, the doctor commented, looking around some more. How do you get around in those? Jessie grinned. When he's stressed, he likes to insult species. The doctor threw her a look. Jessie, I'm thinking. She laughed. Cuts himself shaving. He does half an hour on life forms. He's cleverer than. Always does. The doctor glared at her, but she kept on giggling for a while until he continued. There are these children living rough around the bottom sites. They come out during air raids looking for food. Mummy, please! Suppose they were there when this thing, whatever it is, landed. It was a med ship, Jack repeated, and Jessie pinched the bridge of her nose in exasperation. It was harmless. Yes, you keep saying harmless, the doctor replied. Suppose one of them was affected. Altered? Altered how? Jessie asked. The tape ran out, but the voice continued. I'm here! It's afraid, the doctor said. Terribly afraid. And powerful. He doesn't know it yet, but it will. It's got the power of a god. His eyes widened a little in understanding. And I just sent it to its room. Doctor? Jessie asked softly. I'm here. Can't you see me? What's that noise? She asked. The doctor swallowed, looking at her. End of the tape. It ran out about 30 seconds ago. I'm here now. Can't you see me? I sent it to its room, the doctor said, slowly turning. And this is its room. It turned to see the child right behind them. Are you my mommy? The child asked. Mommy? Doctor? Jessie asked slowly, reaching behind her back for her gun. Okay, Jack said, reaching for his own gun. On my signal, make for the door. Mommy! Now! Jack shouted, drawing his gun. Jessie burst out laughing when he came out with a banana instead of a gun. The doctor grinned as well, revealing the gun he had hidden, and he blasted a square hole in the wall. Go, now, he shouted, and don't drop that banana. Why not? Jack asked in annoyance, as Jessie started through. Good source of potassium, the doctor replied, and Jessie cracked up again. Give me that, Jack snapped as they all made it through and sealed the hole back up. Jessie was still laughing. Both men glared at her. It's from the groves of Villengard, the doctor explained, taking back his banana. I thought it was appropriate. There's really a banana grove in the heart of Villengard, and you did that? Jack asked. The doctor shrugged. Bananas are good. The wall cracked, and Jessie's eyes widened. Doctor! Come on. They ran in the other direction, but were stopped by the patients marching through, all saying, Mummy. The doctor held out an arm, and Jessie stumbled into it. It's keeping us here till it can get at us. It's controlling them? Jack asked. It is them, the doctor replied grimly. It's every living thing in this hospital. Jack began rattling off. Okay, this can function as a sonic blaster, a sonic canic, and a triple infold sonic disruptor. Jessie started in amusement. Doc, what you got? I got a sonic, he paused, and Jessie giggled a little. Oh, never mind. What? Jack protested. It's sonic, okay? Let's leave it at that. Disruptor? Jack demanded. Cannon? What? It's sonic, totally sonic. I am sonicked up. Jessie burst out laughing at that. A sonic what? Jack shouted. Screwdriver! The doctor barked. Jessie rolled her eyes, and then the child broke through the wall. Going down, she warned, gripping both men's arms and facing them through the floor. They flew down, Jessie bending her knees in preparation for hitting the floor. She bounced up immediately afterwards, then looked at the doctor in worry. Doctor, you okay? Could have used a warning, he grumbled in reply. She rolled her eyes. Oh, I can feel the gratitude, she muttered, rolling her eyes. Funny I just did that. Who has a sonic screwdriver? Jack asked, standing up as well. I do, the doctor replied. Lights, Jessie murmured, searching the walls. Who looks at a screwdriver and thinks, ooh, this could be a little more sonic? Jack continued. What, you've never been born? The doctor asked. There's got to be a light switch. Jessie continued her search. Never had a long night? Never had a lot of cabinets put up? Jessie finally found the light switch and flicked it on, and as if on cue, the patients all sat upright, all with the cries of mummy. Door! Jack called, trying his blaster, but it didn't work. Damn it, Jessie raised an eyebrow at him as the doctor finally pulled out his sonic screwdriver, working on the lock. It's the special features. They really drain the battery. Battery? She squeaked as they made it into the storeroom on the other side of the door. That's so lame. I was going to send for another one, but somebody's got to blow up the factory, Jack exclaimed, glaring at the doctor. Trust me, first day I met him, he blew up the department store I was trapped in, she assured him. That's pretty much how he communicates. Okay, the doctor said, backing away from the door. That door should hold for a bit. The door? Jack repeated in disbelief. The wall didn't stop it. Well, it's got to find us first. Come on, we're not done yet. Assets. Got a gun, night-night pistol in my boot, can phase through anything, fire and air, Jessie rattled off. And I've got a banana, Jack continued, and in a pinch, you could put up some shelves. The doctor bounced up to a window. Window. Barred, Jack replied. Sheer drop outside, 7 stories. And no other exits, Jessie finished. Well, the assets conversation went in a flash, didn't it? Jack asked. So where'd you pick this one up, then? The doctor asked sarcastically. Hey, Jessie protested. She was hanging from a barge balloon, Jack replied casually, and the doctor blinked in surprise. I had an invisible spaceship. I never stood a chance. Okay, he commented before going back to the window. 1, we've got to get out of here. 2, we can't get out of here. Have I missed something? Yeah, Jessie replied, looking at where Jack had just disappeared. Jack's gone. The doctor looked over his shoulder to see that the con man had indeed disappeared. He rolled his eyes. Great. Okay, Jessie began slowly, sitting down in a chair, leaning back. Let's have some fun. So he vanished in thin air. Why is it always the great-looking ones do that? The doctor looked at her in surprise to see her sly look as she looked up at him. I'm making an effort not to be insulted, he informed her. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. There we go. Yes, hi. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's very, very loud. Hi. Yeah. Mwah. Hi. Mwah. Apparently he's very lovey right now. The doctor looked at her in surprise to see her sly look as she looked up at him. I'm making an effort not to be insulted, he informed her. She threw him a smirk. I mean, men. The doctor rolled his eyes, and Jessie knew that he was now sure that she was just toying with him. Okay, thanks. That really helped. The radio in the corner crackled. Jessie? Doctor? Can you hear me? Jack asked. I'm back on my ship. Use the emergency teleport. Sorry I couldn't take you. It's security keyed to my molecule structure. I'm working on it. Hang in there. How are you speaking to us? The doctor asked in surprise. Omcom. I can call anything with a speaker girl. Now there's a coincidence, the doctor muttered. What is? The child can Omcom too. He can? Jessie asked in surprise. Anything with a speaker girl, even the TARDIS phone. What, you mean he can phone us? Jessie asked. And I can hear you. The voice of the child came in on cue. Coming to find you. Coming to find you. Doctor, can you hear that? Jack asked her. Jack asked. Loud and clear, the doctor replied. I'll try to block out the signal. Least I can do. Coming to find you, Mommy. Remember this one, Jessie? What are you doing, cat? Moonlight Serenade came through, and the doctor raised an eyebrow as Jessie burst out laughing. I don't even want to know, he muttered. She reclined further in the wheelchair, watching as he worked at the bars with his sonic screwdriver. What are you doing? Trying to set up a resonation pattern in the concrete, he replied. Loosen the bars. Jessie smiled. You don't think he's coming back, do you? Wouldn't bet my life, was the immediate reply. Why don't you trust him? Why do you? Jessie shrugged. He saved my life. She grinned, deciding to have some more fun. Guy-wise, that's up there with flossing. I trust him because he's like you. She looked at her nails casually. Except with dating and dancing. Just assume I'm... Jessie looked up, smirking. He had gone still, and she giggled a little. What was that? You just assume that I don't dance, he replied. She grinned. What, you're telling me you dance? 900 years old me. I've been around a bit. I think you can assume at some point I've danced. You? The doctor snorted. Problem? Doesn't the universe implode or something if you dance? She joked. Well, I've got the moves, but I wouldn't want to boast, he replied. Jessie smiled, knowing that he'd fallen right into her trap. She reached over to the radio and found the volume knob and turned it up. Ew! Ew! Gross! That's gross, cat! Oh, now I've got your snot all over me. Ew! Jessie smirked, knowing that he'd fallen right into her trap. She reached over to the radio and found the volume knob and turned it up. You've got the moves? She asked, standing up. Show me your moves. The doctor spared her a look, but just as quickly turned back. Jess, I'm trying to resonate concrete. Jack will be back, Jessie assured him. He'll get us out, so come on. The world doesn't end because the doctor dances. He shot her another look, but he jumped off the desk he was standing on and walked over. He pulled her close, and she didn't mind it if it was a little closer than usual. He took a look at the hand he was holding, then frowned. Barrage balloon? He asked. What? You were hanging from a barrage balloon. Oh, yeah, she replied nonchalantly, like she was talking about the weather. About 2 minutes after you left me, thousands of feet above London, middle of a German air raid, and I've got the Union Jack all over my chest. I've traveled with a lot of people, but you're setting new records for Jeopardy friendly. This is you dancing, Jessie teased lightly, nudging his leg with her boot, because I've got notes. The doctor ignored her, hanging from a rope thousands of feet above London. He ran his thumb over her palms, and she couldn't hold back the shiver that went down her spine. Not a cut, not a bruise. Yeah, she replied. Captain Jack fixed me up. He raised an eyebrow. Oh, we're calling him Captain Jack now, are we? Well, Jessie said slowly, smiling so she could tease him a little more. His name's Jack, and he's a captain. He's not really a captain, Jess. You know, I think you're experiencing Captain Envy, she smirked. Also, your feet are on the ends of your legs. Feel free to move them. If he ever was a captain, he's been defrocked. Shame I missed that. Actually, Jack's voice commented from behind them, I quit. Nobody takes my frock. Yes. Hi. Most people notice when they've been transported. Jessie jumped in surprise, looking around at the interior of Jack's ship. The doctor jumped away as well. You guys are so sweet. Sorry about the delay. I had to take the Navcom offline to override the teleport security. You can spend 10 minutes overriding your own protocols, the doctor asked. Maybe you should remember whose ship it is. Oh, I do, Jack assured him. She was gorgeous. Like I told her, back in 5 minutes. This is a Chula ship. Yeah, just like the medical transporter, only this one is dangerous. The doctor snapped his fingers and a golden mass appeared around his hands. Jessie nodded. Those fixed my hands. Jack's called them, nanobots, the doctor suggested. Nanogens. Nanogens, Jessie replied. Yeah. Subatomic robots, the doctor explained. There's millions of them in here. See? Burned my hand on the console when we landed. He held up one. All better now. They activate when the bulkhead's sealed. check you out for damage, fix any physical flaws. He looked at Jack. Take us to the crash site. We need to see your space junk. As soon as I get the navcom back online, Jack replied. Make yourselves comfortable. He smirked at Jessie. Carry on with whatever it was you were doing. We were talking about dancing, the doctor commented lightly. It didn't look like talking, Jack pointed out. And just because she couldn't help it, Jessie muttered, it didn't feel like dancing. A while later, the three of them ran lightly towards the crash site. There it is, Jack told them, pointing. He narrowed his eyes. Hey, they've got Algie on duty. It must be important. We've got to get past him, the doctor said. Jessie looked at him. Are the words distract the guard heading towards me? I don't think that'd be such a good idea, Jack told her. You're saying I can't handle it? I've got to know Algie quite well since I've been in town. Trust me, you're not his type. I'll distract him. Don't wait up. Jessie sighed, watching Jack run over to the guard. Good Lord. Relax, the doctor told her. He's a 51st century guy. He's just a bit more flexible when it comes to dancing. How flexible? Jessie asked. Well, by his time, you lot have spread out across the galaxy. Meaning, so many species, so little time. What, that's what we do when we get out of here? That's our mission? Jessie asked incredulously. We seek new life, and she cut off, flushing a little, and dance, the doctor finished, smirking at her. A commotion down by Jack stopped them, and Jessie looked just in time to see Algie fall to his knees, face turning into a gas mask. They ran over, the doctor shouting, Stay back, to anyone who'd listen. Can I help you? Are you my mummy? You men, stay back, Jack added to everyone else. The effects become airborne, accelerating, the doctor explained. Jessie looked up when the air raid sirens came back on. What's keeping us safe? She asked. Nothing, the doctor replied. Jack looked up, hearing the planes go by. Ah, here they come again. All we need, Jessie grumbled, then looked back at Jack. Didn't you say a bomb was going to land here? Never mind that, the doctor told her. If the contaminant's airborne now, there's hours left. For what? Jack asked. Till nothing. Forever, the doctor replied. For the entire race, he frowned, tilting his head. And can anyone else hear singing? Jessie waited as he went off for a while, then raised an eyebrow. He came back with a young, dark-haired woman. Hello. Nancy, this is Jessie and Jack, the doctor introduced them as they ran towards the spacecraft. Jessie, Jack, meet Nancy. You see, Jack asked as they uncovered the craft, just an ambulance. Nancy raised an eyebrow. That's an ambulance? Hard to explain, Jessie told her apologetically. It's from another world. They've been trying to get in, Jack explained. Of course they have, the doctor replied. They think they've got their hands on Hitler's latest secret weapon. He narrowed his eyes as Jack punched in a code. What are you doing? The sooner you see that thing is empty, the sooner you'll know I had nothing to do with it, Jack replied. Jessie jerked backwards as sparks flew from the access panel, pointing at, along with a sharp bang. An alarm began going off, and she pointed at the red light flashing. Nice job, Jack. Didn't happen last time. It hadn't crashed last time, the doctor pointed out. There will be emergency protocols. Jessie looked up when a banging noise sounded. Doctor, what is that? She asked, then jumped when she saw the hospital doors being rattled. Doctor, Captain, secure those gates, the doctor ordered, pointing. Why? He asked. Just do it, the doctor snapped. He turned to Nancy. Nancy, how'd you get in here? I cut the wire, she replied. Show Jessie, he turned to Jessie. Setting 2428D. Jessie got the sonic as he threw it to her. What? Reattach his barbed wire. Go. Jessie kneeled on the ground, fixing the wires as Nancy held them together. Who are you? Nancy asked. Who are any of you? Jessie smiled at her. You never believed me if I told you. You just told me that that was an ambulance from another world, Nancy pointed out. There are people running around with gas masks heads calling for their mummies, and the sky's full of Germans dropping bombs on me. Tell me, do you think there's anything left I couldn't believe? Jessie shrugged. We're time travelers from the future. Mad you are, Nancy immediately said. Jessie chuckled. We have a time travel machine. Seriously. It's not that, Nancy assured her. All right, you've got a time machine. I believe you. Believe anything, me, but what future? Jessie sighed, holding the girl's hands. Nancy, this isn't the end. I know how it looks, but it's not the end of the world or anything. Yeah, it's not their end of the world. Nancy looked at her incredulously. How can you say that? Look at it. Listen to me, Jessie told her. I was born in the States, but London's been my home for years now. I'm here in, 50 years' time. Here? Yep, from your future. What are you doing, Cat? He's found my headbands. But, Nancy stuttered, but you're not, what? What? German. Jessie chuckled. Nancy, the Germans don't come here. They don't win. Don't tell anyone I told you so. But you know what? You win. We win? Nancy asked. Jessie looked up, hearing the sounds of the bomb come closer. Come on. It's empty, Jack was saying as they got back. What is with you, Cat? Leave the stuff on my desk alone. Are you just trying to get my attention? It's empty, Jack was saying as they got back. Look at it. What do you expect in a Chula medical transporter? The doctor asked. Bandages, cough drops? He turned to Jessie. Jess, I don't know. Yes, you do. And she had it. Nanogens! It wasn't empty, Captain, the doctor told Jack. There's enough nanogens in there to rebuild a species. And Jack got it too. Oh, God. Getting it now, are we? The doctor asked. When the ship crashes, the nanogens escape, building up millions of them, ready to fix all the cuts and bruises in the world. But what they find first is a dead child, probably killed earlier that night and wearing a gas mask. And they brought him back to life. Jessie asked incredulously, They can do that? What's life? The doctor asked, pacing. Life's easy. A quirk of the matter. Nature's way of keeping meat fresh. Nothing to an nanogen. One problem, though. The nanogens. They're not like the ones on your ship, he told Jack. Those lots have never seen a human being before. They don't even know what a human being's supposed to look like. All they've got to go on is a little body, and then there's not a lot left. But they carry right on. They do what they're programmed to do. They patch it up. Can't tell what's a gas mask and what's a skull. But they do their best. Then they fly off. And then off they fly. Off they go. Work to be done. Because, you see, now they think they know what people should look like. And it's time to fix all the rest. And they won't ever stop. They won't ever stop. The entire human race is going to be torn down and rebuilt in the form of one terrified child looking for its mother. And nothing in the world can stop it. I didn't know, Jack protested weakly. The doctor checked the ambulance. Jessie, Nancy cried out as the patients began approaching. It's bringing the gas mask people here, isn't it? Jessie asked, wrapping an arm around Nancy as they backed up. The ship thinks it's under attack, the doctor confirmed. It's calling up the troops. Standard protocol. But the gas mask people aren't troops. They are now. This is a battlefield ambulance. The nanogens don't just fix you up. They get you ready for the front lines. Equip you. Program you. That's why the children's so strong, Jessie guessed. Why it could do that phone thing. It's fully equipped Chula warrior. Yes, the doctor confirmed. All of that weapon tech in the hands of a hysterical 4-year-old looking for its mummy. And now there's an army of them. Why don't they attack? Jack asked. Good little soldiers, the doctor replied, waiting for their commander. The child? Jack asked. Jamie, Nancy whispered. What are you doing, Cat? Jamie, Nancy whispered. What? Jack asked. Not the child, she replied fiercely. Jamie. How long until the bomb falls? Jessie asked. Any second, Jack replied tensely. What's the matter, Captain? The doctor asked. A bit too close to the volcano for you. He's just a little boy, Nancy told them. I know, the doctor replied. He's just a little boy who wants his mummy. I know. There isn't a little boy born who wouldn't tear the world apart to save his mummy. And this little boy can. So what are we going to do? Jessie asked. The doctor slowly shook his head. I don't know. It's all my fault, Nancy whispered in shock. No, the doctor told her. It is, she argued. It's all my fault. How can it be your... The doctor started, then froze. Nancy, what age are you? 20? 21? Older than you look, yes? Jessie got it, and her eyes widened. Doctor, that bomb, Jack told them. We've got seconds. You can teleport us out, Jessie suggested. Not you guys, he replied. The NavCom's back online. Going to take too long to override the protocols. So it's Volcano Day, the doctor replied. Do what you've got to do. Jack? Jessie asked. The captain vanished as the doctor turned back to Nancy. How old were you 5 years ago? He asked. 15, 16, old enough to give birth, anyway. He's not your brother, is he? A teenage single mother in 1941. So you hid. You lied. You even lied to him. Jessie looked up as the gates opened, and Jamie approached. Are you my mummy? He asked. He's going to keep asking, Nancy, the doctor told her. He's never going to stop. Mummy! Tell him, Nancy, the future of the human race is in your hands. Trust me, and tell him. Nancy swallowed and began walking towards Jamie. The doctor grasped Jessie's arm and pulled her close. She pressed herself closer to him, hoping desperately that this worked. Are you my mummy? Jamie asked. Are you my mummy? Are you my mummy? Yes, Nancy replied. Yes, I am your mummy. Mummy, I'm here. Are you my mummy? I'm here. Hey, what are you doing? Weird cat. Are you my mummy? I'm here. Are you my mummy? Yes, Nancy whispered. Are you my mummy? He doesn't understand, the doctor realized, and Jessie put a hand over his mouth. He doesn't understand, the doctor realized, and Jessie put a hand over her mouth. There's not enough of him left. I am your mummy, Nancy told Jamie fiercely. I will always be your mummy. I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry. Jessie watched as Nancy hugged Jamie tightly, and she gasped as the nanogens surrounded the two of them. What's happening? She asked. If you keep doing that, I'm going to throw another thing at you just so you stop it. He doesn't understand. No, I got that. What's happening? She asked. Doctor, it's changing her. We should... Shush, he told her, then approached the two cautiously. Come on, please. Come on, you clever little nanogens. Figure it out. The mother. She's the mother. It's got to be enough information. Figure it out. What's happening? See? He gestured as the nanogens disappeared. Recognizing the same DNA. Jamie let Nancy go, and she stumbled onto the ground, and the doctor approached more. Oh, come on, he pleaded. Give me a day like this. Give me this one. The doctor lifted Jamie's gas mask, and Jessie grinned widely. Ha ha! The doctor laughed, hugging the boy. Welcome back. 20 years till pop music. You're going to love it. What happened? Nancy asked. The nanogens recognized the superior information, the parent DNA. They didn't change you because you changed them. Ha ha! Mother knows best. Oh, Jamie, Nancy breathed, hugging him tightly. Jessie looked up, hearing the bomb get closer. Doctor, that bomb, she warned. Taking care of it. How? Philosophy. Jessie braced herself automatically for the bomb to hit, but it got caught in the middle of a light beam instead. She laughed when she saw Jack sitting on it, straddle style. Doctor, he called. Good lad, the doctor shouted back. The bomb's already commenced detonation. I've put it in status, but it won't last that long. Change of plan. Don't need the bomb. Can you get rid of it safely as you can, Jessie? She looked up at the conman. Yeah? Goodbye. He disappeared, but popped back a moment later. By the way, love the t-shirt. She chuckled as both him and the bomb disappeared. Her attention was drawn back to the doctor, who stepped forward and summoned the nanogens. What are you doing? She asked. Software patch, she replied, looking at the nanogens. Going to email the upgrade, he grinned at her. You want moves, Jess? I'll give you moves. He threw the nanogens into the patients, and they all fell to the ground. Everybody lives, Jess. Just this once, everybody lives. So history says that there was an explosion here, the doctor commented as they walked away towards the TARDIS after saying goodbye to Nancy and Jamie. Who am I to argue with history? Jessie raised an eyebrow at him pointedly, usually the first in line. He nodded in acknowledgement and unlocked the TARDIS. By the way, here's yours back. She accepted her key back, smiling, when she saw that the chain was newer and finer. So, the nanogens will clean up the mess and switch themselves off, because I just told them to. He danced around the console. Nancy and Jamie will go to Dr. Constantine for help. Again, ditto. All in all things considered, fantastic. Look at you, Jessie laughed, beaming away like your Father Christmas. Who says I'm not? Red bicycle when you were 12? Jessie's jaw dropped. Say what now? And everybody lives, Jess. Everybody lives, he grins. I need more days like this. Doctor? Go on, ask me anything, he encouraged, grinning and folding his arms. I'm on fire. What about Jack? She asked, and the doctor slowly nodded, realizing what she was getting at. Why'd he say goodbye? Who says we have to? The doctor asked, flipping switches on the console. And I'm pretty sure I owe you a dance. Jessie grinned in delight as the Moonlight Serenade began playing, as the doctor made the TARDIS materialize in Jack's ship. They tried to figure out how to dance. The first few attempts mainly ended up with them laughing, and Jessie poked her head up over the console to see Jack looking at them in astonishment. Hurry up, Jackie boy, she shouted, and he ran in without arguing. She turned back to the doctor, a smile on her face. Okay, and right and turn. They moved through it, and she burst out laughing again. Okay. Try and spin me again, but this time, don't get my arm up my back. No extra points for a half Nelson. I'm sure I used to know how to do this stuff, he grumbled, and Jessie just giggled. He pointed to Jack. Close the door, will you? Your ship's about to blow. There's going to be a draught. Jack did just that, and the doctor sent the TARDIS engines running. Welcome to the TARDIS. Much bigger on the inside, Jack commented. You'd better be, the doctor retorted. I think what the doctor's trying to say is, you may cut in, Jessie teased, walking over. Jess, he suddenly exclaimed, I've just remembered. What? The music changed from Moonlight Serenade to In the Mood, and Jessie burst out laughing. I can dance, the doctor crowed. I can dance. Actually, I thought Jack might like this dance, Jessie suggested. I'm sure he would, Jessie agreed. I'm absolutely certain. But who with? Jessie laughed and Jack nudged her. Go, he told her. I got the message. Hands off the brunette. Jessie ran to the doctor's side. He caught her halfway and sent her in a twirl. She squealed in surprise, and he chuckled. They kept dancing a little, and Jessie thought he was right. He did know how to dance. In this style, at least. He caught her when she spun yet again, and she laughed in delight when he dipped her. And when he brought her back up, their faces were only inches apart, with Jack applauding. She didn't mind one bit. The world doesn't end if the doctor dances, she thought happily. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there, and I hope that was enough for now for our Doctor Who fix. Yeah, and let's see, I will post another video Thursday night. For the Doctor Who. So we'll do chapter 17 to 18 for Doctor Who. And then I'll do the next 2 or 3 chapters for the Black Butler fanfiction. Yeah. Alrighty. Peace out, Knights.